Hi guys, it's Emily from Novell Novels and welcome to today's video. This is the How Do You Read Your Book tag. It was created by the lovely Julie from Hungry Bookworm, who is one of my Booktube besties and someone that I absolutely love to pieces. If you haven't checked her out, check her out. She is absolutely 101% amazing and I am so glad that I can call her my friend. She didn't tag me, but because she's created it, I had to do it. I'm going to be tagging some lovely friends at the end. Better write a note of who I'm tagging because knowing me, I'll forget. But this isn't a tag video where I obviously sort of show you books, but it's one where I talk. It's more of a chatty video. So I will be looking at my notes because I have made a few. I may be adding extra bits when I talk about it, but I wanted to have some idea of what I was going to say to you guys. Anyway, should I get into the prompts? I will list the prompts below because I'm trying to be better and I know that it's very important to know what you're going to be doing when you do this. So here we go. So the first one is, how do you go into your reading a book? Well, I obviously have stacks of books on my shelves, as you guys well know. I tend to, when I'm planning my TBR for the month, I like to make sure that I've got books of different genres in it. So I will always sort of go at my monthly TBR by thinking about a book. So if I've got like a list of buddy reads, then I will have that. Obviously, they are the ones I do as priorities, but I don't really look too much at the reviews. I normally, once I've bought a book, I will have a look at the back. So I will look at the back a little bit, but I won't look at the reviews on Goodreads before I read it. I won't really look at too many things. Sometimes I think I do have a very brief look to see if it's got any roughly star rating, but I like to go into it pretty blind. I like to not know too much about it. I will tend to look at the descriptions on the back, but I won't if it's a classic. If it's a classic, I will not look at the back because that tends to give spoilers, and I do not like having spoilers before I read a book. I really don't like that. But sometimes, like I said, I will sort of look at the back, but I don't tend to. I like to listen to what you guys have said about books, really. So the next one, that links into the next prompt. Do you take a book at face value? And I put down here that I know, not really, I look into it more and then check out the genres. But when I go into a charity shop to buy a book or when I'm buying a book, I like to look at the genres that I know I'm going to like because that's sort of my standard go-to, like a historical fiction book. So I sort of go into it going, right, is it a genre that I'm going to like? Do I like the title? But I have a little bit of research. I'm trying to get better because I've been buying so many books recently. I'm having to look into it a bit more before I buy a book. But then there are some books I'll buy purely because of the cover. But I will take it as what I see it. I won't try and read too much in depth into the book. I will read it as the author intends it to be read. I don't want to make things. I don't have enough intelligence to make it out to be more than what it is. But I do like I said with this one, Emily of New Moon, I'm reading at the moment with Krista. I love the cover of it. It was from Ellen Montgomery, so it was the author that I liked, the name of it. That kind of thing I do sort of take at face value. I don't really go too much in depth with it. And then the next one, again, links into the next prompt. Do you read a book as the author intended or do you go deeper and then peel it back? I'm not the most in-depth person. I tend to take things at face value anyway, so I will read it as the author intended it. I think some books, like with the classics, again, you can take deeper meaning into them, that the author means more. But I don't like to read too much. I don't try and make things complicated in my mind. I like to be able to enjoy my book and just read it as I'm seeing it and really think about it as I'm going along. Some books do have, like with a lot of the chick lit books, you have like twists and turns, and you have with the chick lits you have deeper meaning. You have things that you really like about them, and it can teach you about what's important in life, so you can kind of get more out of the book in that way. Like when you look at a character dying and you think, oh, and their relationships you can go into deeper depth in, but you don't want to make things too complicated. I do not like making my reading complicated. It adds way too many layers that I do not have in my brain and I do not have space for. I read too many books to go too deep. The next one, the last prompt. God, this is going to be one of my rare short videos. As a booktuber, reader, reviewer, do you read a book differently knowing that you're going to review it? How do you venture into other genres for review? Well, you guys know that since I've joined Booktube nearly a year and a half ago, God, I can't believe it's been that long. I have changed a lot over that time. I read a lot more genres that I would never even thought of reading. So being part of Booktube community has definitely widened that horizons. So that's really definitely made me think a bit more about how I'm going to read a book. I'm challenging myself more. The lovely Charlie got me this for my birthday. My sister bought me this for my birthday this year, my reading journal. And I use this because I've just started getting sent more and more books from Tandem and from like Love Books, and I'm reviewing books for authors now and for the read-alongs and readathons. And those books I have to think I will review differently to the ones that I've just picked up, charity shop or whatever else, because I really have to think about how I'm wording it, because I've been sent the book, so I have to word it, be a bit more tactful in how I'm wording it. Something that Nikki from I Read Past My Bedtime spoke about when she's done a previous video, is that it's about not giving negative reviews, not putting down authors, because the author, no matter what, whether I like a book or not, an author would have put time in to actually write it. So I'm not slate their writing. I don't like to be rude or negative. I'd certainly do less Goodreads reviews now than what I used to, because I'm reading more books and I don't have the time to put into my Goodreads reviews. But like I said, if I'm being sent a book, I've just been sent a book to review until this last, and where I've been sent that, I've got to really think about how I'm going to review it, how I'm going to word things. I don't like to be, like I said, I don't like being negative anyway. So if I can't say something nice, I won't say anything at all. I think I've definitely changed the way I write my reviews. Before I wasn't as in depth. I think like I will, if you want me to go very in depth in the book, I will. If I've got a passion for a book, I will say a lot more about it than if I've got negative views. Like this series, The Fairest, it's the Lunar Chronicles. I love this series, so it's one that I go into a lot more. I'm in more depth in it. I get more excited by it, so I will talk more about the books I love. Like Charlie's given me this, so this is, like I said, my book reviews here. I've got the one for Call Me Joe, so my read along books will have their reviews in here. I'm going to try and use this a lot more next year, so I've got more clear reviews. I'm going to use the reading log. I think this is going to be my reading log for next year. And you guys know I've got my reading journal now, which is really important. So I think I'm going to be using this a lot more going forward into next year, because I want to write down a bit more of the books I use. But yeah, I think that part of me's changed. I love reading, and I love the fact that you guys have got me more passionate about my books, more passionate to try books. I would never have read thrillers or horrors, and now I love thrillers. My old favourite genre was chick lit. Now it's historical fiction. Everyone knows me as the girl who likes historical fiction. So if you're recommending a book, I do that. I'd certainly go into books a lot more from Booktuber recommends. Like I said, I would never have thought I would like the Lunar Chronicles, but now it's one of my new time favourite series. There are so many things that I'm liking now because of Booktubers. I think I will do another Booktuber recommended I pick up this book, because that is true. You guys have an influence on what I read now. But I do try and review my books very carefully. I do need to start doing reviews on Amazon, because of I believe a lot that affects what people buy. So I need to do that a bit more. I don't look at reviews on Amazon. I don't know how to look at them, so I need to check that out actually. I don't use NetGalley at the moment because I tried doing it once and I got confused. I also don't want to overload myself any more than I already am. But I love getting sent books by the read-alongs. I'm loving doing readathons and read-alongs. The readathons that you guys make up and I join in is so much fun. Sorry. There's obviously my favourite ones. That also affects the books I'm going to pick up, is the readathons. Booktober's coming up in October. That's my favourite one ever. Got Non-Fiction November coming up the next month. That's another all-time. There are some that really, and that will affect what books I read, because if I'm joining in things like that, I'll pick them up for that. But yeah, I've rambled on about that prompt quite a lot, haven't I? But I love my books and I love the book community, and I've loved making this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I hope it's been informative, and I hope I've not rambled too much about rubbish, because I know what I'm like. I talk for England. But if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel and not subscribed it, ring on my ding-a-ling, and I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye. Hi guys, it's Emily from Novell Novels. and welcome to today's video. This is a how do you read your book tag. Now this was created by the lovely Julie, the Hungry Bookworm, who is one of my absolute all-time booktube besties, and I love her to pieces. She didn't tag me in this, but because she knows that I have got stacks of tags to do. So watch out guys, this is the first of quite a lot of tags from here to the end of October, and I've already started on November's ones. So watch out, there's going to be a lot more tags to do now that I'm back. But because Julie created it, I had to do it. It's not one where I can sort of show you very many of my books I've got, although I might just show you, oh,